on something that Blitz said about maybe part of the problem for VP is that they're not a natural late game team. So far in this patch, they're 25-9 in games that end 40 minutes or before, only 8-13 in games that go past 40 minutes long. That is something that EG maybe can look toward in these drafts.
Yeah, definitely a good late game team.
Yeah, I mean, EG especially, like, you kind of understand their strategy. So far in this tournament especially, they've just been running people over, so they haven't had to go to that point. Like when they played against Na'Vi, that was a crush from like minute 0 to minute 20, but you saw that the lineups were still sort of geared towards winning the late game no matter what. Yeah. And I feel like that's going to be their aim. And when you play against these better teams, that's what you sort of expect. You expect these draft battles where you hope that your advantages play out the way that you want them to play out.
All right, bans are in almost.
And so far it looks like Tusk and Lycan are going to be both left on the table.
Yeah, they likely taking. Okay, that's it. You've got the fact they banned Bounty Hunter is like if you're going to verse EG and ban Bounty, why?
Yeah, that's pretty.
Like they're going to pick Tusk. They're not going to pick Bounty if they have the option. Yeah. Yeah. I think EG surely look at that Bounty pick and that Bounty ban and know that that means they plan on taking Tusk and not giving it to us, and they want to ban like the second go-to like roaming support. So.
Do you take like Lycan Rubik, Lycan Sand, something like that?
I think that's the big question is do you open Lycan here? That's the easy open. It's what's worked for you for the last few games.
I think Lycan with support that can go okay against the Tusk. Whether that's like the Elder Titan we've seen Crit play or like a 5 position, the Warlocks, the Witch Doctors.
Yeah. I think it's a bit different though. Like when you pick ET versus Tusk, like ET, sometimes like the use cases are a little bit more limited. Yeah, so I thought it was going to be Lycan Rubik or Lycan Sand King just because when you take the Sand King, it allows you to match the tempo of a hero like Tusk. Like you can roam, it's very easy. You have a hero that can lane shove as well, just in case.
Yeah, and I favored the Rubik out of those two because crit 6-1 so far on Rubik in this patch on Rubik, only 1-2 on Sand King. So I think that makes a lot of sense as an open. Also takes away the Omni for Virtus.Pro if they were looking at that. It's very, I mean, I guess I shouldn't say that because we've already seen a game, Gods, where they picked an Enigma into a Rubik, but I think picking Omni into Rubik is really tough. Wow.
Ooh.
Well, it on paper, very strong counter to Lycan is the Winter Wyvern.
Yeah,
haven't seen a huge amount of it, though, have we?
It's a hero that's fallen off a lot. Just feels too slow paced. The cooldown on Arctic Burn at level 1 is just absurdly long that you can't really rely on it to have much of an impact.
Ooh.
Soto's had a fair amount of games on it, though. It's still in his top 6.
Yeah, they played. VP runs both of their supports on Winter Wyvern, which is a nice additional element of flexibility, although I guess the Tusk is already on board. Winter Wyvern has actually fallen off more than I had realized, though. Last 30 days, 31 and 46. Really, really brutal elo-adjusted win rate as well in the pro ranks.
I think the problem with this support duo that you take is, yes, you take the Tusk, but when you take the Wyvern, you don't really deal too much damage. Yes, you have like a BKB piercing stun, but it's not super ideal in that regard either. The one thing that Wyvern does do well is you counter the Lycan with your ult. The minions obviously just obliterate whoever he gets on top of, and more importantly, the Ice Block, the Cold Embrace is very nice against the Lycan, who just can't do anything against it. Because you want to put Lycan on that meter. When he pops his ulti, you want him to waste that time because he's a very bursty hero.
It does feel very reactionary, though. And what we've seen from EG is, they pick this Lycan, but they play around Arteezy more still, as well as Sumail. We've often seen Fear just be playing second, third fiddle to these guys. So you're counterpicking a hero with a potential...
Which isn't the primary core.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
The primary core, and it sets up, I think, Arteezy to really have a high-impact game, especially with the lack of lockdown between these supports. Something like a Storm we saw him play earlier was absolutely fantastic. It's great against these heroes. So there is potential for this to really lead VP into a bit of a trap.
I think that's a really nice Omni ban, by the way. I think that it's very likely that EG are going to. They have Rubik, who's the straight-up counter, so they're not afraid if Virtus.Pro take it themselves, and it enables a lot of their heroes. And at the same time, I think Virtus.Pro, they banned the PL. That's an Arteezy hero that they've been using in conjunction with the Lycan. It's very mobile, it's hard to die in the dual off lane. At the same time, if Virtus.Pro want to go in the direction of picking something like Bat Rider, which is very nice against the Lycan, you have an option of getting rid of the natural counter, where the PL is very good in the laning phase against the Bat.
So if it goes to form here, looking through EG's last few drafts, this is where they'll generally take their second support. They've favored Warlock, one of the few teams too, although Faith just played a really great game on the hero. You see a lot of Dazzle going back, and even a Coddle pick that worked extremely well against Na'Vi.
think the Coddle, though, was more reactionary towards the first phase.
Oh!
Hello. Well, that's come out of left field.
Well, you call embrace someone, you hook them away.
Yeah.
Obvious kind of synergy there, but I think more than anything, saying we'll mention about the Rubik, you know, early game, fast tempo support that can match the Tusk. Punches that as well very well.
Yeah, and I know Misery loves this hero. Like, whenever he got the chance to pick it for himself, he would.
Yep.
I think, especially in the early phases of Dota, like, Pudge was seen as just a hero that, like, didn't have a lot of use cases. You'd only ever see Na'Vi pick it, but nowadays it's very normalized.
Yeah. I hate to rain on the parade, guys. Tusk, 6 and 17 over the last month in pro matches. One of the worst elo-adjusted heroes in the game. Pudge. Yeah. And Queen of, it's a weird draft. Queen of Pain probably overall the worst picked hero in this patch. 38% win rate in pro games.
10 seconds.
I think it's a bit different, though. You want a hero that matches well against the Lycan and has no kill threat from the Pudge. And this is a hero that does so. Like, you can put pretty much any dual lane against her. And since it's a Pudge there, you don't really fear dying. High burst potential puts a lot of pressure on the Rubik.
You know what, though? The more I think about it, I'm going to go back on this because I actually love the Pudge as a counter to the Lunar Wyvern. You're guaranteed to hook the hero that gets, if they try to use Cold Embrace as a save, it's a guaranteed hook. And Pudge is a very natural Spirit Vessel builder. And that takes away so much of what Wyvern brings to a fight.
The Sumail Abaddon picked up. It's been a pretty top pick for him in the offlane role.
Pretty effective on it as well, isn't he?
Remaining.
Yes.
Tanky, hard to deal with, and I think this was like EG's last draft that we saw, and we're like, oh, what are they trying to do? They just had 3 cores that were so hard to kill.
Looked a bit broken, didn't it?
Yeah.
No synergy, but actually, like you say, very tough to break down.
EG don't care about picking teamfight. You don't need teamfight when you have these frontliners that can just run at the enemy and there's no response. You can have big AoE spells like Ravage, whatever it may be, but you're not going to kill an Abaddon during it. Lycan's going to get stunned and then keep running at you after it. So it's a very EG approach to kind of playing the game right now.
I do think they need some more catch, though. So there's some stuff that EG kind of showed is like they have these like 2 heroes in mind for Sumail, as like the Omni or the Abba, and for EG it feels like they're kind of interchangeable. In that regard, you just want something that's very good in the lane, has some kind of healer dispel, can buff up the other cores, and doesn't necessarily have to be like a true 3 position. It's something that can transition a little bit better because when EG is very successful, we talked about it. They want to go to the late game. These are 2 very good cores at scaling when it comes to like their level 25 talents. And now for EG, I still think they need something with at least some form of catch because otherwise this Queen of Pain, I feel, just has a really uncontested game.
Well, I think that's where the Storm came to mind for me early because you don't necessarily want to run the Lycan still mid lane against the Queen of Pain. No one probably partly wanted this because he's like, look, I can crush my mid lane. If Fear goes there, he's going to have a rough time. And that's where maybe they just do a Lycan safe lane, which is kind of more what we're used to seeing.
Yeah. I think it depends on what offlaner Virtus.Pro represents right now. Because I think you can also take your safe lane here because you know you see what the matchups are already.
Sure.
When it most likely comes
and
to
you
the
have the 2 consecutive picks, so it doesn't really matter which you pick first in the sense like you're worried about what's going to get banned out.
Yeah, this is, I don't know, this is risky though because I still think CK, Evil Geniuses could come back with Medusa as a 5th pick. I really like that matchup against the CK.
So you have 2 options right now for EG. Either you just tank up and do what they did against TNC, or they just pick 3 really tanky cores, and you don't care about the mobility of this one hero. Remember, TNC had Weaver. It was a free Weaver game. They had 0 stuns. They didn't care about that at all. They're like, hey, we're just going to push, see what happens.
This summer they at least have a few more stuns with Rubik and Pudge. VP, we'll see what they target off here. CK, this is such like a classic VP thing. They're always a team that would love to win as many lanes as possible. They really prioritize the early game, which is, I mean, you talk about the stats. VP doesn't want to go late game. They will often win 2 out of 3 lanes, and that 3rd lane is maybe a wash lane. So EG have to be careful about what they get, how they approach VP because they can just get blown away in the early game.
Yeah, I do think that's why I was kind of gravitating toward the Medusa. I really do think that EG does need some kind of scaling here.
Virtus.Pro's turn to pick. EG's turn.
So they take.
Oh, that's
So we talked about the bad.
But into a bad.
Yeah, but the reason why you ban the PL there and you see the Lycan, it's still a good hero overall because it shores up your lanes. And I think for EG, you take like SF or Storm here and just call it a day.
Okay.
I think one of your lanes is just going to get punished, and you kind of have to be okay with that.
A reasonable Storm game, isn't it, Will?
I think it's pretty good.
No.
I think the SF has better damage potential, but the Storm gives you some catch as well.
That's not what I saw coming.
It's kind of a similar idea to the Storm in a sense. Less catch, but you've got a way of dealing with the CK now, and just that very mobile, high burst damage magic hero that VP will have to find ways of dealing with.
I mean, but VP feel like they have so many ways to pursue this Tinker into the tree line.
Yeah,
With the
but
mobility of the Queen of Pain and the Batrider.
I think it puts VP on a kind of timer though, because I don't know if you want to play against this late game lineup. When Abaddon hits level 25, when Tinker gets like 4 or 5 slotted, I think that EG probably just wins this game. And so VP, they understand that. They pick a catch hero, even if the Abaddon counters it. Like, they understand this type of game now.
Okay, very quickly, in one word, where are you going?
Oh man, I don't know. I'm gonna go with the stats and go EG.
EG, okay.
Virtus.Pro.
I'm also Virtus.Pro.
Okay, 2 for Virtus.Pro, 1 for Evil Geniuses. That's the decision of the jury as far as we're concerned up here on the panel, but really what matters is it. Let's head you over to the commentary team for the first game between Evil Geniuses and Virtus.Pro. And say a big welcome to Trent, Pax and Cap.
Thank you, Paul. EG versus VP. These two teams do have a storied history. Virtus.Pro may not have the best record against Evil Geniuses lately, but they should still be the favorite for this matchup, right? They are, after all, one of the top 3 teams that we've been touting for this meta, one of the best teams of the year.
They must be. Simply.
Be.
Has to be that way.
But, is there a but?
I don't know. It's just, it's been so long. So long that they haven't managed to do it. I would say if there's ever been a time, it has to be this. If they don't manage to do it this time, I mean, this is just going to go down as like the biggest
Break it
streak
down
of
for
all
me.
time.
When was the last time Virtus.Pro beat Evil Geniuses in a series?
It's been years. You know, we're working like
years
away, falling back into around 2015 or so. They finally beat. I mean, that's a totally different roster we're even talking about there. So, I mean, if you're talking about current iterations, really, they've never even taken them down.
Virtus.Pro and EG certainly had a very lively lobby chat, we should say,
I will say.
pre-game. Firing a lot of shots back and forth. Teams definitely know each other very well. We're going to see that play out here in this best of 3 series. Virtus.Pro already settled up here.
I don't know about you, but I'm definitely agreeing with the VP side. I feel like I like their drafts quite a bit more. Like the aggression of the Chaos Knight, the Queen of Pain. If they get this Batrider matchup versus the Abaddon, though, that could be at least one nice thing going for EG's side, but see if they get those rotations, and perhaps there'll still be some punishment, right? CK loves to feast off these early kills, and that's something that Pudge might not be able to help out with too much when it comes to his allies.
I mean, it does look like, and I'm looking at this, is like Virtus.Pro, they have just a whole bunch of playmaking kill heroes. You know, you've got Batrider, you've got a kill combination, Tusk Wyvern, Quap, a super aggressive mid. This feels like it's going to be a classic VP game where they just kind of go, kill, kill, kill. Evil Geniuses holding on to perhaps a bit of a late game advantage. They're going to be pretty reliant on this Tinker. And they may have to be sacrificing the Lycan Fear again and again and again, as we've seen so many times in their games. Good body blocks here from Crit in the mid lane, while Pasha goes for the pull at bottom. But it is a 1v1, so it's not going to make that big of a difference if you manage to get that critical off-lane pull. Normally only matters a ton when you're in a 1v2 or 1v3 matchup.
And once again, EG will send Arteezy to the Radiant offlane. This has been a very common strategy from them lately. Often they will, of course, get to do it with Crit and get to do some Ice Shard blocks and whatnot. It makes it a little bit easier. Arteezy, much harder spot to start with right at the beginning, and he only has 1 support with him too, as Misery's just getting up there.
So an aggro tri-lane with the Tinker. And we were talking about, we thought like, okay, they're going to do an aggro tri-lane with the last hero here. They're going to run into this Lycan for sure. Then they picked Tinker, and we sort of abandoned those plans, but apparently EG kept it up. I'm not entirely sure how this is going to play out for them.
I would say I was surprised the last time they did this. It works out to, like, pretty well. You know, of course the Tinker's going to get less levels. There's no question about that.
Yeah.
But he's got some great skills if you have the heroes to set up kills, right? You have a Rubik and a Pudge. If he hits a big hook, this guy's got the damage to finish off these heroes.
And in these skirmishes, the miss percentage has to, like, just straight up being able to deny, like, a Chaos Knight from being able to do damage to people has got to be huge. So this Trine lane certainly can work for Evil Genius. It's going to be dependent on RTZ not dying here. Already stunned up, gets off march of the machines, pulled back by Ramsey. He's going to go for this kill. Lasered up, doesn't have the right clicks, and neither does Tusk. RTZ is going to be able to get away, gets off the healing salve, and is out. Nobody dies here. But in mid, Fear managed to kill the Bat Rider. He died himself, sure, but he was the one who managed to pick up the first blood.
Well, that means that at least we were talking about that matchup and finding that to be a little bit better for VP, so that's going to give Pasha a little bit of a better game despite going down there. See if he can accelerate into some mid-game action with an earlier Blink Dagger.
Snowball rolling. Let's get as much damage onto Misery here as possible. They are bringing RTZ over, and they're going to start slowing down Lil a little bit. Maybe VP have actually overextended themselves. Lil's definitely caught out, and he's going to end up dying here. Good hook from Misery.
2-1 to start. But you mentioned in terms of skirmishes with the blind as well, Ramsey's might start getting a little annoyed here by these lasers.
Yeah.
Tinker always known as that lane dominator, and this time when you're going to be backed up by two supports, it can actually work even like a little bit better. It might be harder to like force out some aggression on the Tinker and push him back. It's Tusk though, very scary. Level 2, but where has our success for Tusk always been? It's been that mid lane. You know, it's not as easy to play Tusk in these off lanes or safe lanes or anything. That ramp block really has been the key as to why the hero's been so successful early on.
Bottom lane seems to be going very well for, well, they switched it up. To say Sumail. He's actually 14-2 right now, so he is having a blast. Up at top lane, they're actually going to go for it. RTZ going to be snowballed up. They managed to get the stun down, a couple of right clicks. There goes the laser, so Ramsey's already backing off. Letting his supports go for the kill once again. With a Splinter Blast, well played by Solo. They will manage to get the kill. Lil is still going to end up going down, though, to Misery. They may be losing their carry, but Misery is going to start to be a very big, beefy boy if they keep on trading kills like this, and he keeps getting that strength.
Yeah, he's got a decent game set up for himself too. He's got the help of someone just like a CK stun maybe to set up into some hooks. The T-ball of the Cold Embrace has always been a pretty common counter that we see with the Pudge and the Winter Wyvern. So Misery, we heard Will talking about how much he loves this hero, always trying to go back to it. And we'll see if that veteran experience on Pudge will come into play here.
3-2, 1,000 gold lead. Another attempt on RTZ's life here. This time around, the supports are not so close. So 1 second stun. There goes the laser, but the Tusk as well as the Winter Wyvern are going to be able to combo up. The Tusk hides the Chaos Knight from some of the damage, and they manage to kill RTZ. RTZ is just playing so aggressive in this lane, and his supports weren't even around him.
Yeah, things are starting to look a little bad up here. No way to get that lane control back again. Plenty of times we see him in this off-lane role, but it's so often that they have some sort of creep control or just like overwhelming confidence in that lane that they're able to give a ton of space, a ton of gold over to RTZ. Not finding that here this time, so that means we're going to have to start looking at like what are they getting in the other lanes. You know, you mentioned Sumail, but he is just an Abaddon. Yeah. I mean, how much can he really do? He's supposed to be an enabler to help out maybe like an early game push or something like that. He gets these drums going, and you could see that working with the Lycan, but it's not really going to help out RTZ as much as
maybe it's Ramsey's turn to fear death, as Misery's just going to try and keep that rod on top of him, even if it costs him his life. The three-man snowball, Ramsey actually far enough away. He tries to go for the hook, but it's blocked out by Solo. Misery trying to stay alive, does manage to get the kill on the Tusk. Solo will walk away, and Ramsey limps out of the lane as well. So Evil Genius's trade supports, but they maintain the lane dominance, which is important, forcing both of those heroes out of lane. But only for a short time, as they are going to use that shrine. Be back in not too long.
And then, of course, someone who can actually pair up with Sumail, it will be Fear. He has been the driving force over the past couple days for EG. Definitely the big change, it's looked like, in how their games have been going. He's been given a lot more aggressive heroes. He's running over games with Lycan rather than playing things a little bit maybe slower with the DP and the DK and being relegated to lower tiers of net worth. He has been destroying. So I was a little surprised to see Lycan get through this time. See if he can do it once more.
2 seconds
we're top
done
again, though.
Here. RTZ trying to keep his distance a little bit. Misery, attempted the hook, but good grab with the snowball. That is a beautiful save. Ramsey's just might make it out. It looks like EG are not able to get enough damage. A little bit of return fire on Lil as well, but this time it's VP who walk away. One battle up here in the top lane, but will they win the war? of the top lane. We'll have to see, as it seems like these two teams are just going to keep on going at it. Oh, jeez. Ramses
finally got a wand too. That is one thing. They got these so early for EG. Like Crits had the stick, Arteezy got the wand right away, and same thing with Misery too. So it's been helping them a lot in these engagements.
Sumail has a haste rune, so they actually have to be a little bit careful at top lane. They may see rotation from the Abaddon, especially with his level 6. He could definitely dive some towers.
Also, this ward helping out VP so much, just right under Misery.
Yeah.
Always seeing what he's up to.
Gotta get that vision over the Pudge. Solo almost daring Misery to attempt to go for the hook here, and they are quite low here at this top lane.
Just a little too short there. The level 1 meat hook. Oh, mid lane with the lasso here.
They're gonna go for it. Fear managed to pop the transformation. They actually missed out on that extra bit of damage. They used the lasso, but this is definitely not a kill. No one does not have the burst damage to be able to take down that Lycan. Big problem with ganking the Lycan at all times is that you need that instant disable. Otherwise, he's gonna get off that transformation in his wolf form. There's nothing you can do to stop it once he starts it. Ramses pulled back here, attempting to get Misery. Oh, whiffed hook there for Misery.
Yeah, they needed that too because they've actually got Solo down in the bottom lane without a TP, so he's here trying to clear back the waves and they don't have the extra assistance in the top right now. So a couple missed opportunities here, it looks like, for both teams. They missed the lasso mid and then the hooks up top. And Ramses just continues to, as you say, dare them really. Standing so close to EG and killing these creeps.
It really does seem like some sort of contest of manliness.
Oh, they had that deep ward though, and Ramses didn't realize.
That is perfect. They're going to be able to get that Pudge right behind Ramses. Only a 1 second stun, so Misery can keep pace. Gets the hook this time. No escape for Ramses. Lil still going to try to fight though. He's got no one here. Big, bad, and beautiful with a Sonic Wave. He's going to be able to hit 2 with that and still pursue for the kill onto Arteezy. Chris going to be able to make a successful TP out though, losing their carry in the Tinker. The big loss though for Evil Geniuses.
And there's a moment where you're very happy no one didn't try something desperate with that Sonic Wave in the mid when it looked like they might have got the Lycan with the lasso, but it kind of seemed like it wasn't going to happen. So saving it for that. Those rotations so important on heroes like Queen of Pain or Puck, where you can find some big double, triple kill or something like that rotating through.
No one, or excuse me, Misery, hoping to be able to force no one into a blink that he could use the hook on, but a little bit too far away. Just only having that level 2 hook not going to be good enough.
And considering how long Sumail's just been hanging out down bottom, not a lot of pressure on this tower. Solo's doing a great job pushing this away, even with just a single point into the Splinter Blast. And
the smoke up here from Evil Geniuses and a wrap into the mid lane. They are determined to keep this Chaos Knight down for good reason too. They've already got the Helmet Dominator on the Fear. Now they are going to be able to pop the switch, but good attempt there by Ramses. But you're no Phantom Lancer. Can't pull those shenanigans with the illusions. Oh, what a hook! Did he have the ensnare? Looks like it was off cooldown.
Yeah, still just sitting there. Not able to get it off.
Sumail's done with Solo pushing. Oh, there's the ensnare now. Now if they can actually get Misery with a hook. Trying to get in front, managed to get the telekinesis. That's going to be enough damage. Pasha's here. Looking for the flame break, knocks him up a little bit. Does have enough sticky napalm that he can actually run down Fear here, and his supports can't seem to stop it. Fear actually juking her out a little bit, but it looks like there's just no escape here. In the meantime, looks like Misery did end up dying. Lil.
It's actually getting a little bit ridiculous, honestly. Fear, every single game, he gets that helm, he gets the troll, or he gets the centaur, and he just goes and creates havoc. He gets so many kills. It seems like so many of these Lycans, when a hero's been popular, it's just so much more focused on the buildings, but it's just not his job in this team. It hasn't been for a while, but the more kills he gets, the more he's enabling Arteezy, giving him that space, trying to get into those boots of travel. Sumail still kind of remains that little bit of a question mark, I suppose, as he's just kind of mulling his way over to drums.
Oh, Misery. Nice hook there on Ramses. Don't think they can capitalize on that one, though.
It's hype for the crowd, though. You know, they like it.
And soon we're going to have the Dismember for the Pudge, so he really can make kills off of those kind of hook shots.
Yeah, it's Crit who's gotten 6 first here.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Set up here at the bottom lane. They're really going to go for Sumail.
It looks like it's Fear who might get the jump top, though, that Invis rune.
If it is
5 more
Wolves.
seconds.
Pack of invisibility here. Sumail still holding on to his ultimate there. That's important to note. Right now, the Queen of Pain is trying to force him to pop it. It looks like the Tusk's going to go for the kill now. And there goes Sumail. Popping that ult should be fine. Over the top lane, though, Pasha attempting the blink hit. Almost into
very
the
nice.
telekinesis first. Into the hook shot. They're going to be able to get the lasso onto him, pull him back out of that lasso, but Misery will still die. Fear is going to be able to chase down these supports. Oh, nice use of the cold embrace there. Is going to be able to keep Soul alive. Batrider may not be so lucky. Neither is Ramses. Tinker takes him down with pure damage and still looking for those extra kills. Ice Shards helps to be able to protect Pasha. He gets the blink away. Lil probably still gonna die, gets a snowball to get a little bit of distance here. Another Ice Shard's up in 2 seconds time. Can he close out this gap? Can he keep himself alive here? Snare? Oh, good try. But they could still reach over that igloo and grab the Tusk.
Man, vision has just been so unbelievably important in this top lane. Again, there was another ward there that spotted where the Batrider was coming from, so he was able to precast the lift there and make sure that wasn't Arteezy that was least focused. Giving EG a chance to actually bounce back in that engagement, and now they will get that pressure on the tower they expect from the early game Lycan, and there's really not much of a trade happening across the map here. Misery's down bottom to grab the wave, shoved in by no one.
Now, is it just me, Trent? I thought it was going to be VP kind of taking the pace of this game, but it seems like EG are the first ones to smoke up, go for one of these coordinated ganks into an objective.
Yeah, I would say Fear is looking more like the tempo controlling force than you would say no one is, I guess. You know, he hasn't been that successful. He's had that big TP rotation. Perhaps we were expecting a little bit more out of him when you look at the overall composition of the VP lineup. So I would say if there is any sort of a burden left on this squad, it probably falls on his shoulders.
Tempted setup here from the 2 supports of Evil Geniuses.
Stolen Chaos Bolt as well if they do grab him. Quite a bit of control sitting here for EG.
And look at a VP are looking at it and they're like, that's just an easy pudge kill.
One juicy
Probably
tower.
take that tower off of it too. Let's go ahead and push this way. Well, now the Tinker's showing himself, and that push becomes a whole lot harder. Good attempt at the hook there, but misses.
And again,
Now
another
Pasha.
ward sees this.
Oh, he's going to be able to blink in. Misses out on crit. If he's caught by the telekinesis, he's certainly dead. There goes the telekinesis. There goes a 3-second stun in the dismember. Setting up no one for a big hit, though, and the snowball comes in. Misery ends up going down. Sumail popping the ultimate, but no real damage going on to him. He's going to be at half HP when this is done. He needs protection. That's why he needs Arteezy. Needs the help of crit as well, but he's going to be lassoed up. Pull back, Pasha. Managed to get the kill. No, he hits by a March of the Machines. A little goblin takes his life. Ramses at the top lane goes down. Arteezy trying to go for the rearm. Tinker out, but it's not going to happen. No one with the triple kill at bottom lane. Trent, just as you call it. No one needs to pick up this game for VP. He does so in the bottom lane. Beautiful.
The burden is lifted. Team is welcome. Excellent work by no one. And again, they're fighting into this vision. You know, spotting Pasha coming in there just so important with that ward placed down by EG. Oh, grabbing him.
There's a big kill if he has enough damage, but it's just not enough.
Pudge Dota. So close. Almost there in time. Oh, they're coming right back down here. There's no rest for the wicked.
Saying,
Yeah, they put that sentry down. They're like, yeah.
Good call by Solo. Don't get hooked. Another smoke bot by Evil Geniuses.
Fear's been quiet for a little bit here.
Yeah, he's like, all right, guys, I've moved around enough. I need my farming. Evil Geniuses always seem to be able to split that very well. Duration with Misery, I don't feel like divided one way or another. Maybe one word would be say they give a lot of space to Sumail as we're seeing in this Abaddon game. He's just kind of been free farming this whole time.
And kind of the, well, you could say more typical build these days. Drums right into the Radiance. Sure VP won't be too shocked by that one. And does that fit our general pace of the game? Yeah, you could say so. Heading late, they're going to have the Tinker, but also on the side of VP heading late, they have the CK. I don't think it's very one-sided one way or the other. It's pretty much going to come down to, I would say, the Wyvern has the biggest chance to make those impacts, and by virtue of that, that also gets passed over to Crit, because he's going to be working with the Steel as well. So those big team fight ultimates, essentially what we look for, other than the battle of attrition between Tinker and the lane shove.
Yeah, I like this. It's like Chaos Knight doesn't, like, Chaos Knight, Quap, they don't want to really go on the Abaddon here. And if he has the Radiance, he actually starts becoming a threat. Misery missing another hook here. Ice Shards attempted block out, but they can't really challenge him anyway, as he's got too many allies behind him, currently taking that mid tower. Maybe it's Arteezy who's going to be caught. Solo just straight up freezes him. But now the turnaround is available for Crit. He can actually, puts it on the Chaos Knight to stop that attempt on Arteezy's life. Pasha's still going to go for it here as well as the snowball. They are all in on Arteezy right now. The hate is real, but they get the kill. What a beautiful Sonic Wave. Sumail looking to be able to keep Misery alive, but just can't do it. He's run out of power, and now he's run out of ultimates as well, but Fear's got his back. Nice shard block there from Lil. Blocks that pathway out, is able to get the TP away. They're still looking to be able to catch more. Crit with a haste rune is hoping to be able to catch to no one, but gives up on that chase.
Yeah, very nice prioritization there from BP. No march laid down by the Tinker meant that even after he'd gone down, there's no residual damage coming through or anything that maybe could help turn the fight for EG. And there was no Abaddon. You know, they saw him mid. He was just kind of pushing the wave, both him and the Lycan, and that's what gave the go call over to the side of VP. Just hop on in there, and perhaps Sumail also rethinking things, saying, you know, we could play a bit faster. Oh, there we go.
He's had his share of misses, but certainly some critical hits. The Misery Pudge gets another one. This time Pasha is the one to feel his wrath.
But Sumail, yeah, also considering perhaps the Yules instead.
Oh, the
Be a
blink
bit more active.
initiation actually steals the pullback as well. Ramsey's going to go ahead and pop his ultimate, tries to deal with Crit, but immediately the Fighting Shield takes off that stun.
He's got another
Ramsey has
pullback.
to be able to pop the one here to stay alive, but no. Magic damage coming out from Sumail's build. He goes the maxed out Mistcoil, and it is proven to be time and time again very effective in these team fights. There, helps them get the kill on the Chaos Knight.
It's so counterintuitive too, because every time I see him play it with this Lycan, I'm just like, oh please, like where is this curse? Like you could do Roche so quickly, you could destroy these buildings. Look at this Lycan and all his summons. But it is the engagements, that's where it turns it around.
Oh, Solo, you're not sneaking into the pit so easily. He still managed to get off the Winter's Curse, okay.
Steal that.
Fumbled that one. Solo does manage to interrupt the Roshan attempt here, and it could still be EG losing out not just on the Rubik's Life, but the fight as well. Pasha's attempting to find some heroes, but can't actually get a blink off with all of these minions on top of him. What a snag from Misery. There's going to be a snowball delaying his death. He goes over to the Necronomicon. Lil tries to go for an Ice Shard, blocking it. Sumail is going to force him to use his ultimate here. But again, it's still VP stalling up that Roshan attempt. They're not going to be netted that early objective.
Still playing around the area too.
Yeah, they could definitely still take a team fight, even if they don't have Winter's Curse. With a Sonic Wave, it could easily be enough to win the fight.
They know Fear's certainly not too anxious to get back in there. Definitely want the ultimate. There's no real threat on the side of VP to take the Aegis very quickly. So EG are happy. They don't plant a wolf inside just in case they try some shenanigans. But they'll go back to it later on. And at that point, Solo will have the ulti again, though.
Yeah. It's kind of cool when you have a Tinker lineup like this, right? Where you're able to constantly put a presence around the Roshan pit, and as a result, so does Virtus.Pro. They won't give up that free Aegis this early into the game. That'd be massive. But at the same time, it's giving a lot of room for Arteezy to finally recover. And this is probably one of the latest recoveries we're going to see in a Tinker. They definitely let Arteezy be a bit of a sacrificial lamb for quite some time. Now they're going to try and smoke up into the pit and try round two. Roshan with the wolves inside did not regen out very much, so it was already down to half HP, and as a result, VP may be a little bit too late to this engagement.
Fear holding the ulti too for the eventual chase down. If Misery can find a good hook, oh, what a blink. Almost grabbed him mid. And that would have been a secondary kill there. Easily secured after Roche.
The boys in blue stream out of that Roshan pit into the mid lane. With an extra life from that Aegis, I'm not so sure VP wants to challenge them if they go for a tier 2 push.
Yeah, a little scary around there with that level 3 Necronomicon. But even with the Invis rune, he'll back up.
Chaos Knight building into an Echo Saber after his armlet. He still needs a good amount of recovery. That aggro tri-lane and then the rotation. Ramses went mid, right? They immediately smoked up on him. You could see the effect on his net worth because Chaos Knight is just not that good of a farmer.
And when the rotations did come out from Nampasha as well, he wasn't heading up towards where the CK was at all. You know, he's kind of putting that pressure in the mid lane instead, so he didn't try and win that lane any harder, maybe create an earlier recovery for Ramses. And CK, not exactly the best hero at this, but eventually he'll get there, and he's also one of those heroes that the net worth to damage ratio goes pretty well in his favor. You know, you don't need a whole lot to do a ton of damage.
Playing the long con out here. Solo's Winter Wyvern has flown into the trees, and he's waiting for his next round of that Arctic Burn. He can position himself for really good Winter's Curse if EG group up. They're not. They're staying spread out. They're letting Sumail by himself pretty much take that tower alongside the Lycan Wolves. And they're just going to keep on going. After all, they're going to have the Tinker. Oh, Solo spots him. Gets a little damage on him. Can't really do much about it, though. His team would not be able to back him up there. VP still making rotations back. Hook shot, long shot from Misery. And it's going to be a miss.
Yeah, this is pretty terrifying, though. It's always hard to defend high ground up against Pudge, because any small mistake, even just one could say a fluke, and your defense can kind of fall into shambles here. So they're playing way back on the side of VP, and that makes it a lot easier to get a tier 3.
Indeed, they've unlocked shrines and only 21 minutes in. This is looking great for Evil Geniuses. Trent, at this point in the game, how do you look at VP's chances against EG? What do they need to kind of do to get back in this game and challenge EG again? Do they just keep on kind of conceding objectives? Surely we've reached a wall at this point. They can't give up anymore.
No, it has to be some sort of big smoke gank, a big play like that, but they're so difficult to try and like work out. Like, how are we going to do this? You know, these lanes are shoving in, all this information is being fed into the side of EG. Every time they see a creep hit a tower, they say, oh, okay, why is no one there? What's going on right now? Let me just check all my wards here. Okay, yeah, they're probably smoked, guys. Well, let's back it up a little bit. CK much faster at accelerating with kills than neutrals and lane creeps. But that is the goal that they're going to have to go for.
They still have the top net worth in this game with Queen of Pain, BKB, and an Orchid. An Orchid is going to struggle to see a whole lot of play, though, against an Abaddon. Can just aphotic shield it off. It's put on any of his allies. Speaking of him, he's almost got his Radiance. That's a massive upgrade for the whole EG crew, as that's not just a lot of damage, that not just means that VP have to think about dealing with him. Nice, but the Orchid's gonna be able to stop it. No one's gonna be able to get this kill, maybe not. There goes the aphotic shield, takes off the silence, and num 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 num. What a turnaround for Misery.
Oof.
They're still smoked up
painful.
though. Solo, his smoke pops. What you doing here, bud? Oh, another one for Misery. Solo, not making it out. True to his name, all by himself. VP have now just drug Ramsey to the bite. He actually pops Phantasm. They've gone for a grab on a crit. Ramsey's trying to get the kill on him. It does manage to take it, but there's just too much damage coming around from Arteezy. He's eventually going to go down. Tries to go for the armless toggle. A TP out. Do it again. Ramsey, do it again. What a play. Pasha still going to be run down here by Fear. Slowed down. Got the purge on him from the Necronomicon Ranger, so it's not going to make his way out. Chaos Knight survived. The Winter Wyvern is almost back up, as well as the Queen of Pain. But his damage, it's going to come hard and fast onto these buildings, and I'm not sure they can stop it. The Ranger Axe is already dead. And EG may have a chance to be able to get the full lane of Rax. What a stomp! The Centaur stomp! Pasha jumps in and almost dies immediately. He's slowed down still. Couldn't get the curse off in time. He still dies. Pulled back. It is going to be a death on Sumail. And Fear, he doesn't have his ultimate for 20 seconds. They need to have a stun. 4-second stun. And a winner's curse too. Sure, overkill, but the big man, Fear, it's worth all the abilities you can toss at him. That guy's a legend. They had to bring him down.
Okay.
And even up the score, 21-21.
And that was only a melee Rax. Essentially, you're being paid 2,000 gold for it. That's not too bad in the current state that they're in. Quite a bit of it went to the CK, about 790, 884 to the Queen of Pain. There's definitely some good heroes get the gold on, but it's Solo who's struggling towards the first big item. The Blink Dagger could be one of those ways that could actually turn this game around, but the person who's running this game right now, to me, it kind of feels like Misery, honestly. It's that chaos factor of the Pudge. He moves things out of where they're supposed to be in a game of Dota, which is why he's so damn annoying. And then he creates these big chain plays where like one person dies and he's this crazy reach, he pulls in another person, and you get put in these terrible situations of like, I guess we're fighting here? Do we have a choice? We kind of have to. And then that's basically how Ramsey's, without some amazing armlet toggling, would have went down on the top lane. Oh, damn.
Do you see that? He's trying to take the Ancient Bounty away from Ramsey. He's trying to outlast hit him with the Wolves. Ramses really needs his recovery. Is Blink Dagger his next item? I'm kind of feeling like they need that entrance for the Chaos Knight into this fight, get to the back line, just grab that Tinker, mess him up.
Yeah, it doesn't feel fantastic in the sense that you're not adding any direct stats or damage or anything, but at this point, they need someone else to get in there. I don't think that the Tusk is doing enough at this point, and the Bat Rider's having obviously a very hard time against our Abaddon.
Either way, Ramsey's still needing to recover in net worth, but time is running short for him to keep on farming. Evil Geniuses are beginning to close off more and more of the map, and they're going to go for, they've already taken that top lane, even if it was just a range racks, taking most of the objectives there. They're going to now head towards bottom lane, start constricting VP's hold over this game. All that vision, all that presence will soon be left in just their base.
Yeah, these wards not even mattering. They are just a little bit too far behind, can't find that moment. And not too much high mobility on the side of Solo.
Hunting, grabs him. Lasso, pull back. A kill on a Misery is going to be a decent one. EG, do they have a rebuttal here? Oh, they may actually lose crit as well. Oh no, it wasn't quite enough damage. Telekinesis, he's still going to be dying here, but a minute, no one to commit. And now he's in serious trouble. Solo right next to him, so the Lycan doesn't actually make a commitment. Good block out from the Ice Shards as well. Leaves Pasha a little high and dry though. He's left in the river, and he's going to get gobbled up. Oh,
very
using
nice.
the Winter's Curse. Actually gets a Force Staff over the cliff as well. Looking to save Pasha's life, and it looks like he just did that.
Yeah, Fear, I mean, he's been playing this quite a bit. He's faced his fair share of Winter Wyverns. He just will not commit with his hero. And you get his curse forced out of nothing but minions.
Yeah.
Does not feel very good.
Certainly not. But at least EG were not able to keep on pushing.
Yeah, and we have to give credit. Of course, that does mean VP has gotten back a little bit more of this net worth lead. It's only a 4K advantage here for the side of EG, which, you know, considering all the map presence they've had, the fact that they have a Tinker, I would say that's fairly impressive.
All right, I think we've got the items down, Trent.
We're ready.
Blink Dagger on Chaos Knight.
Yep.
We got Blink Dagger on Winter Wyvern as well. So we got some nice blink in disables, strong initiation against EG. Paint me a picture. How does VP win this next fight against Evil Geniuses that they so desperately need to win?
Well, it's looking like we're going to have to hope for a good Orchid play, I would say, on Sumail, because we've seen the problem if you don't Orchid him. But as long as we get the Orchid on Sumail, we can get a lasso on somebody else. And now it's not going to get a Photic shielded. So, assuming that they can't find any sort of a counterplay from Misery or Crit, that might be a chance to actually bring down Arteezy quickly in these engagements. But Sumail, he already knows that is the plan. He's working towards that Lotus Orb as fast as he can.
So it sounds like to me, this is going to be some really fast-paced, well-coordinated, instantaneous initiation from VP. They've got to get in at multiple points, multiple heroes, all disabling the right kind of players.
That sounds hard.
That does sound hard, but VP, I mean, they're one of the best teams in the world.
There's a great place to have those kind of fights, too.
Yeah, we were talking about it on the panel,
right? We
right?
always end up here.
They're like, you know, the team fight is newbie the best team at team fight, and I immediately thought of VP, you know? VP, so good at being able to play around each other, but what can you do when you get hooked like that? What an initiation. Now the bouncing laser hits no one as well. They look for their next victim. No one forced to pop the BKB, turns around with a Sonic Wave, a good amount of damage. Not really that threatening, especially with Sumail still having his ultimate. He forces out of him before he blinks himself away. Still, a pick off of the Bat Rider is enough that Evil Geniuses can go straight for the Roshan with little threat from VP.
Oh, you want to fight here so bad, though.
But VP,
this is the place. You have the curse. Surely.
They got to try, right?
Oh, it's too fast, though. They know. There's a Lycan in the pit.
They're going to go
There's
for the
just no
smoke,
way.
but it's late. Roshan's already dead.
And there's this Tinker with the Aghanim Scepter. It's been such a problem with these blinds.
Oh, almost snagged him right in the booty there. Arteezy jumps in real aggressively. He wants VP to challenge. He wants them to try and turn around and go for this kill, especially since he has the Aegis. VP very wisely continue to back off, though, knowing that if they turn and they lose that fight, which they very likely would, it would be potentially the end of the game with this push. Oh, what a Winter's Curse. Straight onto Crit. Not stealing Winter's Curse anytime soon. Now Ramsey's managed to make the jump in. They combo up, managed to finish off the Lycan. Sumail's already popped his ultimate, and they're on top of Arteezy. Keep the damage on him. Don't let him blink. Ramsey's grabs him, still dies, but Arteezy's low enough. They managed to finish off that Aegis. Now Misery in serious trouble, gets a Force Staff over the cliff. But what about round two? Arteezy's back with his fresh life. No one challenges him. BKB blinks onto him, already bringing him down to half HP. Arteezy's got to blink away. A little bit farther with the Marching Machines. They need to finish him. Arteezy, he's doing so much damage. Does finally go down, but they're cleaning up so many heroes. Pasha barely gets away on a sliver of HP. Sumail, he's looking for it. He wants it badly. Couldn't get in range, though, of the Radiance to stop that blink away. A 4-for-4 exchange, but also included an Aegis in that entire thing. That's got to be a pretty good fight for VP.
Yeah, the offlaner is the only one to survive here. And Sumail, you're just dominating this dire side of the map. Not too concerned about a little Bat Rider hanging out in his base, but VP, they're holding on. Got to give him credit for that. This is going to make that next push more difficult without the Aegis, so this could perhaps delay it even a little bit further for the side of EG and maybe get us a chance to see another item on Ramses because he is struggling. if that Tinker can get any of his spells off. How about no one in that fight, though? That long duration BKB showing off its presence, but it is going to start dwindling down. And, of course, with the quickly refreshing Tinker, can be a very big problem.
Sumail's coming a problem. He already is a problem with the Radiance, but he's going to become an even bigger problem because he was probably the biggest beneficiary of that fight on both sides. He got so much gold, so much experience. He's almost level 25 already, and that is a gigantic upgrade. One of the best talent upgrades in the game. In my mind, it's like one of the most OP things you can have is that Orthotic Shield. Pull back here, Pudge, big time trouble. Flame Break and the pullback, that is going to be an easy pickoff for VP. They need plenty more of those to come.
Yeah, the last time Sumail went this build, I believe he went the Oxygen Core next as well. So once you get that 25, then you not only have that insane damage absorption, but then you of course reduce that cooldown. So just like the whole fight, he's just spamming shields every 4.5 seconds. Very irritating to play against.
6k gold lead for Evil Geniuses right now.
No one doesn't see any of these heroes right now. A little bit scary.
Pops the Lincolns just for a little bit of fun. They don't really have an opening initiation without a Blink Dagger on the Rubik. Fresh BKB for Fear's Lycan. That is going to be hard to beat. They got to get a really good Winter's Curse to beat him, or they got to get the superior initiation. Because this Lycan is another big baddie.
Yep. I think EG, they might start to look towards one of those solutions where you have like the double wave push if you can, and then you just put Fear on one lane and you send the rest of the team somewhere else, because the team fight is overwhelmingly looking pretty good for VP lately. You know, despite the fact that they're down so much, they have these heroes with these giant ultimates, and they kind of all want to play in this big blob. But if they can actually spread it out a little bit with the Tinker and the Lycan, could open up some opportunities for the side of EG. That melee racks up there, man. It's so tempting. No towers nearby. Fear just needs a moment. Oh, I see a line there. Sumail wants to smoke over that way.
Try and do the old smoke into the enemy base when you've taken a lane. That tier 3 gone, you could just sneak right in. Not going to do it, though. They're going to play around RTZs, march the machine, constantly pushing in bottom lane, take this final tier 2. Virtus.Pro, not going to let it go so easily, though. Scouting out with the Icicle, the Ice Shard, Frozen Sigil. You know what I mean.
I liked Icicle. Thought that was pretty good.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Pasha looking for the back line. He's going to go for Fear. Managed to grab him before the BKB goes off, and they managed to get the Winter's Curse. Is it a good one, though? It looks kind of bad because they're trying to go on Fear. They flame break him out of the Winter's Curse, but it's a little bit too late. He's popped the BKB only in half HP, and now can turn and fight the Queen of Pain. He's going to try and go for this one. Crit. He's trying to grab somebody. He brings him solo with, oh, there's a jump in from Arteezy. He sees all these juicy heroes. He sees Ramsey slow, goes for the kill. The rocket's not quite enough. They need a little bit more, but it looks like he's going to be able to make it away, and they've overextended themselves now. Crit goes in, Biz. Misery looks for the hook shot. No one looking at Juke at the same time. Sidesteps the hook smoothly. Evil Geniuses, though, still win the fight and are still going to take this lane of racks, if not much more, with no buybacks on Virtus.Pro heroes.
Felt like that fight was a long time coming, and EG just kind of got that coordination that they needed.
And in that fight, VP, who bungled their team fight and their initiation, and as a result, will end up losing to Evil Geniuses in this first game. Trent, EG looked real good out there. Is the curse going to continue for VP?
That Lycan, I don't know. That's the curse thing. You know, this guy, he shapes when the moon comes out. I can't stand to see this thing anymore on the side of EG. I'm done with it. Like, they're so good. They just take so much control early on in the game. It's like they're not even playing any other styles right now. They are just playing Fear Lycan, get a bunch of kills. We'll just do something with the other heroes, and we're just going to win the game off of that early advantage.
Evil Geniuses versus VP. EG up one game in this best of 3. Trent? Lycan ban, surely, right? Next
I don't know.
You think so?
Obviously, you know, they're not dumb. It turns out these guys actually know stuff about Dota. They do understand it's highly likely he was going to take that Lycan. And they tried it. And I
tried to counter. They did as much as they could.
And it didn't work. But then Navi didn't ban it again. So surely this time.
VP learns from mistakes? Okay.
Surely.
All right, well, we're going to go to the panel, see what they think about the Lycan and the rest of this game, number 1.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much, Kath and Trent. We'll come back, of course, to our commentary team for game number 2. The longer that game went on, the more you felt EG would take it. At least that was the feeling amongst the panel. And they were pretty much right. Well, some of them were right.
Some of us didn't think it would
Some
go
of
long.
them were right, Alan.
I will admit, I was a little shaken. I thought that VP draft was very strong and very well suited to their playstyle, but I think at the end of the day, this sort of new strat that EG is running, where they're putting Artur in these aggressive dual or tri lanes, sacrifice